Boa, happy to have you here. Thank you very much for the time that you gave us. How do you feel?
For me, honestly, I feel very good and very positive to be here. So, yeah, I feel good to be here.
Why I wanted to speak to you because you already spent 1 year with us, with the team, and I want to ask you how was your first contact with the team, with the Romanian championship, with the Romanian level infrastructure, and so on. How did you adapt, and how was it? How was your whole experience last year?
For me, obviously, I've been in Europe for so many times and it wasn't really, something different for me. But when I came, to Dinamo, I felt the love of the fans, and also from the team. And because honestly, when I came for the first time, the team really accepted me like a family, everyone was very positive. And I think as a new player, when you come to a team like Dinamo and, the people really accept you like a family, I think it also helps you, the player, to feel good, inner and outside you to play for the club. So for me, I think I really had a positive, welcome in Dinamo. And since now, I think I'm still enjoying, the club. And I think for me, I'm good. Everything is good for me.
How was the contact with the fans? Firstly, we played in the Arco de Triunf stadium. Yeah, it's smaller but very close to the pitch. The pressure is higher.
Yeah.
Also for you as home players, but also for the adversaries. And then we moved to Național Arena, bigger stadium, bigger attendance, different atmosphere. How was the contact with Dinamo fans?
For me, I cannot even say to myself because I think even all the players really felt very close to the fans when we played at home. I mean, the smaller stadium, because, you can really feel the fans and also communicate with the fans and also, they are pushing in always. Even though, sometimes you feel the pressure from them, but I think it really helps us, to play very good, to make sure we win some games there, So for me, I think the players really enjoyed, playing closer to the fans, more like National Arena, because it's always difficult because we have not really been playing there. And sometimes, it's always difficult to win games there. But I think for us, we don't really have much to say or not to give an excuse, not winning there. This is football, If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. So, but I can say really enjoyed playing in the smaller stadium, because it was really more closer to the fans,
Now, you anticipated one of my next questions. How was it for you as a football player to adapt with this change from Arco de Triunf to Național Arena, not only due to the fans and stands and so on, but the pitch has different dimensions. You play as a central defender. I know from my own experience what I played, the dimensions and everything, these kind of technical things are very important for you to anticipate the adversary and also the relation with your other colleague in central defense. How did you adapt on this matter?
For me, the adaptation was, I think, a little bit different from, the smaller stadium, as I said. And, obviously the National Arena is really big space, and also it's really wide. And also the pitch is very long. And every time you have to run, but probably the smaller stadium is more close, you can always, it's easy always to find, your players to play with. But sometimes, the bigger stadium is really tough to play there, It's really big, it's huge, and you always have to do a lot of runnings. And, it really didn't help us a lot there. But I think now we know how to play there. I think we have experience playing there now, and I think it's not going to be really difficult for us, when we play there now.
Bigger space, bigger pressure, as we can say. I want us to remember. I want us together to remember a specific game from the first half of the season, the game at home against Universitatea Craiova, where we won 2-1, and we had -2 players due to red cards. How was that moment for you, and how did you feel this wind that pushed you from behind, that came from the stands, to be 2 men down, and also to fight until the last end? There were also a lot of stoppage minutes. So how was it for you there? Because the pressure for a central defender is huge.
I know.
How did you cope with it?
Well, for me, when these situations happens in the game, normally we were playing with 11-11 and we had like 2 red cards, and now we have to play 11 against 9. And at this moment, as a player, you really have to have a different mentality towards this game, because obviously we are less than by 9 players and it's always difficult to come back. But I think what really helped that is we didn't wanted to give up, as when you're in this situation. I think everybody wants to work together because we want to work together as a team, because at this moment, if we don't really work hard as team together, it's really going to be difficult for us to win this game. So I think what really helped us in this game, that we really came together as a one team. We didn't even think we were less 2 players down, but we just fight us together, and and we won the game, you know. I think that was really helped us a lot in this game because obviously when you are playing against Craiova, you always have to be really focused to the 90-minute end, and we felt that we have to be really focused because if we lose focus, for sure we are going to lose, and hopefully we didn't lose focus. We were really mentally prepared for this game, and we make sure we win the game.
You see, also the fans and people in the media were talking about this, that at Dinamo last season, you had a family. The players and the staff were like a family because, so let's say a fewer amount of players played a lot of games, because the squad wasn't so huge, let's say, not so many players. And now the thing is, due to this relationship and family that you've built together with the staff, Dinamo had 15 games in a row without any loss. 13 in the championship plus 2 in the cup. But now, how did this family function and work after the losses came in? There weren't many, but it's pretty difficult to digest a loss, let's say, after you have 15 games without any loss.
Well, for us, I think obviously we are not the only team in the league, and obviously it's possible to lose some games, and we understand this is football, you know. But when the moment comes and you are winning your games, you have to keep on this momentum, you know. And obviously you might lose some games, and for us it wasn't really a surprise for us losing a game, you know, because we know this is football. Sometimes we win, sometimes we draw. And for us, we were just focused on our goals, you know. Even though we can lose one game, but we have to make sure going to the next game, we have to make sure we win. And also, I can say we really learned a lot from the staff, you know, because we really focused on the tactics that they wanted us to play on the field of play, and we're really 100% with this, and we really liked it. So I think it also really helped us in our games, you know, through the staff, you know, what they tell us in training. And for me as a player, the most important thing is to also listen to the coaches and the staff, because without them, I think we'd have lost some games, and also with them, we won some games. So for me as a player, I think normally, you have to listen to the staffs, and I think that has really helped us a lot, you know. For us, and as I said, we are like family, and it's without family, you can't do nothing, you know. We want to work as a family, you know. We don't want to we don't want to say, only this player. We always want to work together, you know. We don't want to say, this guy is the only key player in the team. Obviously, you cannot play alone, you know. You need teammates to help you to play together, to win together. So I think that is what we did, you know. We do everything as a family, and we don't always put the blame on someone, you know, probably making mistakes. When a player makes mistakes, you just try to talk to him in a positive way to keep on going, because this is football, you know. Sometimes you make mistakes, but you have to keep going. You know?
Yeah, the mentality and psychical strength is very, very important, foremost for a goalkeeper or a central defender. But now, what I want to ask you is, you're as well Togolese football, national football player. And it's pretty far away. It's pretty far away to travel there. You played in all the national teams for the qualifiers. How did you adapt? How did you cope with this timetable difference, with these long travels by plane? I know we talked earlier during the season. You said, you're a professional football player. You have to cope with these things. You have to do them. But still, we saw that you had some injuries when returning from the national team. How was it?
Sometimes, you know, I feel sad, you know, getting injuries and coming back without playing like 1 month. It's also happening as a player, you know. I feel very bad, but, you know, these are some things that you can't really control, you know. And for me, I don't think it's about the long travels or whatever, you know. In football, things needs to happen, and when it happens, you have to take it in good faith. But this never broke me down, you know. I just kept my focus going, and whenever it's time for me to play, I make sure I just give 100% for the club and make sure I play good.
Yeah, and the fans always saw it, that although, you had these injuries, when you came back stronger. And always, as we say in Romania, you gave 110% on the playing field. Always, and that's what our fans appreciate very, very much when they are talking or referring to your person as a football player. You're very appreciated by the fans, one of the fan favorites, let's say. We were also talking at the hotel together. Honestly, I don't remember any defender from Africa that played for Dinamo to be as good as you are.
That's
and
great,
with your partner, with Josh, that was also a strong couple in the defense. But now
that's a compliment, or what?
Yeah, it's a reality, not a compliment, in my opinion. That's reality. I mean,
I appreciate that.
You know, there are compliments that usually you say compliments to try to lift up the morale of somebody. But in this situation, when we're talking about you, we don't need to do any compliments. We just need to look at the stats, and the stats speak for themselves. And besides the stats, what the fans saw from the stands, looking on the playing field, and so what you've done.
So this is you being honest, right?
Yeah, really honest. So you caught that it's on camera, yeah? Being honest with
He's
Bo.
being honest with me.
But yeah, now a new season is ready to start. We are in the second training camp here in Poland. First one in Curtea de Argeș in Romania. Now is the second. How do you feel after this first training camp and now in the middle of the second one?
Well, I always say I think this has been the toughest training camp I've ever faced in my football career life. You know, like
here in Poland.
Yeah, in Poland, and also the last one we did was in Slovenia too. So this training's like it's really tough for me. You know, I've never really experienced this in my whole professional football career, but. Yeah, for me, I think, you know, we are professional football and this is what sometimes we have to adjust to, you know. We don't have to complain. This is our job, you know. Sometimes you feel tired, you know, you complain. It's very hard training, but I think this is always going to keep us, you know, in a good momentum and also to make sure we have a good performance. So, you know, sometimes, you know, players complain, it's hard, but, you know, this is football and we have to deal with it, you know. We have to endure the pain and the sacrifices and all this is all about sacrifices. And yeah, when you want something good in your life, it also depends on how you sacrifice for yourself and also individually as a player, you know. So for me, you know, I can't really complain a lot, you know. I just have to endure and adapt to every situation that I face in my football career.
If you were good and had a strong performance last season, can't wait to see how good you're going to be this season after these hard trainings, as you said, because while working hard, you're going to get better. And
better.
Seeing also from the stands, let's say, from the fans' perspective, being here, the way you train, the way the staff is pushing you forward. Can't wait to see how you guys are going to develop your skills during the next season. Boa, thank you very much for your time. The training is about to start, but my last request for you in this interview would be to look in the camera and send a message to the fans.
Thank you very much for having me. And what I just want to say to the fans is they should just keep on supporting us. I've heard a lot about them, you know, about, you know, loving me as Boateng playing for Dinamo, and I love them too. They should just keep supporting us, and I hope this season we are going to make big things. Thank you, guys.